up to 11. Woohoo! It's a heat wave. 10:31.
Al was right.
What was that, John?
Al was right.
Al was
It
right.
is global warming.
Yeah, apparently. The memo didn't get here. It's time to visit with John Barry once again. He's live in studio. So glad to have him here, and he's bringing his awesome Christmas concert to the Five Flags Theater tonight, and let's chat more right now. Well, John, once again, thank you for stopping by.
You bet, man.
Tonight is the night. Tickets still available. Limited number of tickets. Get them. 7:30 p.m. showtime. John Barry's Christmas show. It's a two-part show. Kind of an hour of your country hits,
Yep.
and then an hour of Christmas music, right?
That's correct.
But again, you change it up from year to year. I'm sure you probably added some new songs. The
Yep.
one song that you have to play, I think contractually, you must be obligated to sing "Oh Holy Night." We talked about it, and we're going to play it here in a few moments. But a lot of people have recorded that song over the years. I mean, you know, Celine Dion, you know, Martina McBride, a lot of great vocalists. Again, though, I come back to I've never heard anybody sing it as well as you. And again, I'm not brown nosing, not kissing up. I'm just being honest.
Well, there was something real special that went on in the studio that day, and I've always believed that the art of recording is how much emotion around a song can you create in a studio, because you're only going to capture so much of it. Only so much of that vibe and feel is going to be, you know, going to be digitized, so somebody in Dubuque, Iowa can hear it on the radio and feel it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a pretty emotional thing. Whether if it's a fun song, it's got to be really fun. If it's a sad song, it needs to be really sad. If it's an emotional vibe like "Oh Holy Night," it needs to really be that way. And I recorded that, the original version of that song I recorded in June of 1994. And in May of 1994, I had brain surgery.
Oh, wow.
6 weeks prior. No, 4 weeks prior.
Oh, my.
And I've got a little videotape at home. I had brain surgery on May the 10th. I've got a videotape of me at home in my little office on May the 9th that nobody's ever seen. I've never looked at it. Of me singing all my favorite songs. Because the next day I was going to have brain surgery. That sometimes can go well. Sometimes not so well. So I wanted to record all my favorite songs, just in case it didn't go good.
Wow.
And so to be in a recording studio 30 days later, singing, and singing a song like "Oh Holy Night," which was that's a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. John Ketchings was there playing cello. Connie Ellisor was playing violin. The band was just remarkable, and it was just a real emotional day. We had to keep stopping and doing Connie's part over because Connie was just crying.
Wow.
There's tears running off the violin. You know,
imagine.
There's a lot of emotion in the room when that's going on.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And
So
I mean, this backstory about "Oh Holy Night," it really does, I guess, bring to life why it is so powerful.
Yeah.
Your rendition, especially. You know, some people can sing a song and sing it beautifully, but they don't have that connection like you do to "Oh Holy Night." Something else you're going to have a connection to are winners of the Magical Mystique
Absolutely.
Christmas Getaway. They're going to
Come
have
on.
dinner with you tonight.
come on, let's go eat.
Yeah. You're gonna strap on
Do
the
we have
big
lunch too? Let's go.
Deborah Keeler and her husband Paul are going to be joining you for dinner tonight. They're going to be, of course, at the show. And we're going to go to the luxurious Champagne restaurant.
Come on.
They have some of the best steaks in the world. This place is awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Truly.
you and me both. Now, getting back to "Oh Holy Night," we're going to play it here in a second. When you get to the end and you get to that part as far as live performance is concerned, how challenging is it? I mean, the last few notes, the last few lines, boy, you really have to
The
extend.
last note. Yeah. Yeah, it's scary.
Is it? I mean, is it
yeah.
something that
Yeah, 'cause
beforehand you just think, boy, here we go?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I finally have there's several factors. One, lots of water, lots of sleep, and just my brother's an opera singer. And last year, for years he told me, he said, you got to throw it up into the nasal cavity. You know,
Sure.
that's it's hard to explain to people listening already.
Sure.
He said you got to throw it up here. You know, you got to throw it up, and he said you can't sing it from your chest and your abdomen, and you can't use your throat. You got to throw it up there. And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And last year we were at a show, and I figured out exactly what he was talking about. So, you know, hopefully it will continue to work.
You'll hit it out of the park tonight. I'm not putting any extra pressure on you.
I got enough pressure on me.
Well, again, folks, if you're listening, if you want to just see a magical, magical night of music, the giveaway that we did, the Magical Mystique Christmas Getaway, I mean, it really is a magical show. You're going to love it, I promise. And John will be there, 7:30 p.m.
We'll be there.
You'll have the new project available for people to buy, right?
The new music, Made in America, and we're so proud of this record. We had a great time doing it. There's a couple of special things about this record. My son, Kalen, who's 15, got there. He went there with me and got the drums all set up because Chris, our drummer, was running behind. And we were ready to go, and Chris was still an hour and a half out, and we're like, so we did Poncho and Lefty, the old Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson song, and Heart of Gold, the old Neil Young song, and my son Kalen played drums on those and did a great job.
Cool.
And then there's at the end of the record, there's a Poncho and Lefty reprise. We're right near the end, and that's us playing at a club in 1987, playing Poncho and Lefty, and everybody playing on, well, the piano player and the bass player and myself, of course, are playing on the record, and they're also playing in 1987. They're playing on that live recording, and the drummer from that record, from that recording, was Mark Inslee. And Mark was a dear, dear friend, and he passed away this year at a very young age. And we included the last verse and chorus of Poncho and Lefty with Mark singing it as a reprise to the record, just as a tribute to him. And it won't mean much to anybody else in the world, but it's just really cool to, you hear us back from a long, long time ago, and it just meant a lot to us to be able to include. Because when I think of, every time I hear that song on the radio, I always think about my friend Mark, and we miss him. He was a great man, and everybody who knew him just loved him, and he loved everybody. He's one of those kind of guys. But it was a great record. It's been a lot of fun putting it together, and I think people will really enjoy it. There's some old songs of mine from the 80s when I did these old albums on my own, and so it's pretty cool.
The incomparable voice of John Barry tonight live, 7:30 p.m. at the Five Flags Theater. John, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Be there.
Be there. You won't want to miss it. Let's play it. Here's the song, Oh Holy Night. 10:39 on The Big Show, Sunshine and 12 at WGLR.